hopping and a bopping and a singing his song. All the little birds on Jaybird Street love to hear the robin go tweet, 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 rockin' robin.
Hello everybody, I have somebody here today, part of Blanca's Good Television Show, and it is Silas Marsh. And you can tell me a little bit about the business you're talking about right now. Where are we?
So we are at Northern Cigars and Specialty. We're a specialty store. We offer cigars, we offer games, a lot of men's products.
What would you list as a man's product?
Yeah, so we've got pretty much everything you'd find in a man cave, or at least we're working towards that. You know,
I have never been in a man cave, young man, so why don't you tell me what you have in them?
Yeah, so we've got like whiskey glassware. We do have a lot of local products as well.
Like what?
We have local soaps, cheeses, we have cribbage boards, like wood-made products. We have jams, jellies, pickled items.
So you extend beyond the man cave into my world.
Yeah.
Which is very, very nice. Anyway, we're at 1257?
Yep.
1257 East Main, and it's just a lovely place. I have never been in here before, but today, as you know, we're hosting a Bill Lee signing of his wonderful book, Baseball Eccentricities. And there are a lot of them, and I'm so glad you and your dad are doing this. You made the most beautiful sign.
Thank you.
Yes. What did you use for the black markings?
So I cut everything out on vinyl and just put it on a board.
Okay, I might be asking you to redo my sign because it took a heck of a hit during the storm last week.
Oh man.
And the plows hit it a few times this year. So maybe I'll help get you help with that.
Alrighty.
Very nice. Well, Silas Marsh, very nice young man, and works in this place, 1257 East Main. Come on in, take a look. We've got everything in here. Oh, I don't, you do. There's everything in here for your man cave, and a lot of good things in here for your ladies as well. And unless, of course, you put ladies in your man cave, who knows what you do. Anyway, thanks a lot. I'll be back with Bill Lee. Welcome to Life is Good and Rhythm Q and your ever-loving host. We have Mr. Bill Spaceman Lee with us today, and it's such a great honor. I'd met you once before today, and
I enjoyed that day.
I did too.
I loved the neighborhood and your neighbors, Derwood Star and Lorraine.
Yeah, I went over there yesterday to see if they were coming today. I told them when you'd be here.
I went to their house 2 days ago.
Oh, okay, so you beat me.
Yeah.
They said, yeah, you told us all about it.
Yeah.
Anyway, what I'd like to do is talk about Hall of Fame.
Yes.
And Montreal. No, I'm from Montreal.
I remember that.
And
you were in Air Canada?
No, I didn't.
Canadian Air?
No, I didn't become a flight attendant until my 50s, and then I retired when COVID hit.
Oh, really?
So yeah, I'm an elderly woman, and Air Canada, I had 53 rejections between the ages of 18 and 22. Because I was too short. When I was 52...
You're right, that's how it started.
Because when I was 52, somebody hired me. And you know what? I was the only person to be kicked off my track team and the only one to become a professional runner. So I've got to say, when you talk about persistence, thank goodness for you, because the kids have to hear it today. Don't take no for an answer. If you want something, you go the heck out and get it.
Stick your foot in the door and don't let it close.
Right, and if you have to work a little harder to get what you want, follow this man's example.
Hustle, hustle, hustle.
That's right.
Be smooth, throw strike, keep the ball down, don't alibi, hustle, hustle, hustle.
Now,
And keep your mouth shut or you'll end up like this. I lost one tooth, then I lost 2 teeth in football, then I lost 4 teeth in a bicycle accident, then I lost 5 teeth just this year. But guess what? I'm persistent. I'm going to get some oral surgery, and in about 4 months, I'm going to look just like you.
I should take my teeth out now and have them prove that. No, okay. Something personal now. This is a baseball for my son. I love it. I've kept it. He hit a home run with that. He made an all-star. He had a terrible accident skiing, hit a tree, and he's a pitching arm. But he didn't get the right therapy thereafter, and I don't think he had the right timing was everything, you know. But I'm so proud of my son. And my son gave me this.
Billy Crystal.
And what I want to do is talk to you a little bit about relationships between fathers and sons and baseball. Because
I got a good one.
my son and his dad are so, that's related. My son and his dad,
Is that your dad?
no, God, him and his father have a relationship based on baseball. And whatever they, and in a movie called City Slickers, there's one scene where Billy Crystal asked one of his fellow cowboys, why do you always talk about baseball? And he said, well, you know those years when my father and I didn't have anything else to say, we could talk baseball, and it kept us together. And I really think that's magic. And my son gave me this, and I read it, and Billy Crystal was tremendous, and that's the memories that my son has with his dad.
That's baseball.
That's baseball.
Because baseball has no clock. It has innings, and it can go on forever. And it's a relationship without a clock. Therefore, you're not in a hurry to get somewhere else. Now they have a pitch clock, but still, the game can go on forever. In the Iowa Baseball Confederacy by W.P. Kinsella, they play on a burial ground of an Indian nation, and the game between the Chicago Cubs and the Iowa baseball team goes on forever. It's a great novel. He wrote Field of Dreams, Shoeless Joe. He wrote all those great things that became movies and stuff with Kevin Costner.
Oh, I know, and I'll tell you something about Shoeless Joe and the other people you put in your Hall of Fame. Because you put Shoeless Joe in your Hall of Fame.
Oh, by far.
And why isn't he in one now?
Because of the gambling of a guy named Kennesaw Mountain Landis that tried to correct the fact that they were against the Cincinnati Reds. It's unbelievable, but Shoeless Joe couldn't read or write.
I know.
And therefore he never made an error. He hit over 340, and they still made an example of him and Buck Weaver, who didn't make an error and hit about 340.
Who else do you talk about who couldn't read or write? Who was great?
Oh, there was a lot of guys that couldn't read or write. The less skilled articulately and stuff, they're usually the best players.
That can't be said about you. You're
Buckminster
Fuller, and you give great quotes, but not just because you memorize the quotes. They actually apply to the situation to which you talk.
Well, it's exactly. It's called Connections. A guy named James Burke had a show in Great Britain that was our children's TV show on PBS after Sesame Street called Connections, and it shows how we're all interrelated. If you divide it down, you realize that borders are terrible things.
I agree.
There should be not borders between here and Stansted. It should be open like a big blue marble. And I think borders and unbridled capitalism are the two biggest culprits in North America.
Well, you come from a Catholic, Irish,
Oh, I know.
family, Republican.
Racist.
But you have evolved out of that. You
Yeah,
can still
well, I
have a strong
realize.
faith, but you can evolve into something that you are.
My dad said ask questions, or you won't get the answers.
Sure.
And so I've always asked questions, and he basically said he wished he had the told me.
He told you to keep your mouth shut when you went to the Red Sox.
Exactly. He said, you're Irish Catholic, you drink a lot, all you gotta do is keep your mouth shut. I said, well, 3 out of 4 ain't bad.
Yeah, right. It used to be 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
I used to pitch in Newport anyway.
Well, I used to pitch for the Newport the Rangers. I pitched here for 34 years. I've won more senior league games than anybody in the history of Vermont.
Yeah. I got 4 strikeouts, 4 no-hitters in Little League Baseball.
You did?
And my fastball was 50 miles an hour, they couldn't touch me.
That's awesome. I won every game in Little League too, in 2 years, my senior. I was 36-0.
After you hurt your shoulder, you only went down to 72 miles an hour, right?
Well, I'll tell you, I never threw hard. Hitters used to run up to the plate to hit against me. And they used to yell at me, why don't you challenge someone? And I said, why would I give you something, to hit when I can give you something that you can't hit?
They can't get the slow ones, can
They
they?
can't hit change of speed.
No.
If you can throw your nose at the hitter and throw a circle change that looks like a fastball, he cannot wait on it. And he gets out on his front foot, hits you a weak fly ball to right, game over.
Yeah.
That's called pitching. I can pitch, I just can't throw.
Yep.
Oh.
Never could throw hard.
I don't blame you.
No, no, no. I was a very lucky guy. I was taught by my Aunt Annabelle.
Let's talk about Aunt Annabelle now. She was in the Hall of Fame and was the best hardball hitter in 1940.
Yes.
1946, 1944?
Annabelle Lee played for the Minneapolis Millerettes, the Fort Wayne Daisies, the Chicks from Grand Rapids, and she was an amazing athlete.
And you said she was the best athlete in your family, but your father said because she's a woman, it was a different level.
Before title.
Yes, I know.
If she would have been born now, she would have been Caitlin Clark.
Okay.
She would have been that good a point guard. She would have been that good at everything. When I taught her to golf at the age of 60, I told her, what do you do? I said, there's a 3-wood on the ground. I said, you put it 3 inches from here, put it on the inside of your left hip, take it back along the ground slowly, straight back, take it back, and then go right back through. She hit a 220 right down the middle.
Atta girl.
She was amazing, amazing athlete. Yeah. Wow.
When I was 12 years old,
What's that?
I was golfer for Special Olympics. I beat everybody at golf.
You did?
Yeah, now I do track and field.
How'd you do? You steal their clubs or what?
No. No,
How many strokes did you have to give them?
none.
None?
Now I do Special Olympics track and field.
I'll tell you.
Fantastic.
You know, I am the spokesperson for Special Olympics in the state of Maine.
Okay.
And I was in downhill skiing for Vermont when the old government, before Douglas was there.
Yeah.
Was it Snelling and Dean?
Yeah.
Snelling?
Indeed.
Yeah, Stelling. It
He
was,
kicked me out of his office once.
no way.
They pulled him out of the legislature because I had an idea that he kicked
I
me
come
out.
here the year that he retired, I think.
So last year when I did Special Olympics, I got gold and a softball throw. I got to the my division.
It's
Well, I
funny.
bet.
I got they gave you me a gold because the guy ran, was supposed to have a 100-meter run, walk, and he started running, so they disqualified him and gave me the gold. I got second place in the 50-meter walk.
What's your name?
Donald Pullman.
Wow. You're
Donald
good.
Pullman.
Donald Pullen.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
I've been doing it since I was 18. I still do it. We're doing it this year too.
Well, I'm a Quebecois.
Et moi aussi.
Canada.
Canada. I marry all Canadians. My last 2 wives have been Canadian.
Oh, you have excellent taste, sir.
My first wife was from Holland. I dated a few Americans, but I never married one.
Oh, I'm dating one from New York.
Are you? Well, I wouldn't go to New York. You know, we fought New York back before we were a statehood.
Yeah.
We were an independent colony. We were the 14th, First Republic, 14th state. We had a guy called the Moscow Covenant. It was Ethan Allen and Ira. We're Irish first. Yeah. The Allens, I work with the Allens, the direct descendants of the Allens. I make baseball bats.
Wow.
Birch baseball bats.
That's cool.
That's yellow birch, that's the hardwood, and I designed this to cut the hammy bone down so you can't hurt your hand. Because guys get down too low and then they end up, Mookie Betts had a broken hammy bone.
Yeah.
And now he's back.
These are the Dodgers. You know Jackie Bradley Jr. won?
Everybody leaves, all the bees.
Yeah.
Benintendi,
Yeah,
Bradley,
Yeah, Bradley went
Betts,
to
Bogarts.
Yeah.
If you have a B in your name, Bill Lee, B, I was gone. If you have a B, they get rid of you.
Oh,
Nah.
Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth, way to go.
That's right.
That's awesome.
What do you think about Babe Ruth? What do you think
What do you
Boston
think
had?
about Babe Ruth?
Well,
Hey, I hit a pitcher now. It's
Yeah. And I understand
a
that.
Japanese pitch.
Oh, that guy.
Like San Antonio.
Oh,
Show
yeah.
on. He's good. They got him up for
I see somebody do that to me.
gambler now.
Well, he
They think he gambled, but he's
was living in Pete Rose's basement.
Yeah.
Unattended.
Yeah. They say he's not big with it.
Hey.
He can hit and pitch.
Well, he's a great hitter,
Yeah.
and I hope he doesn't hurt his hammy bone. Anyway, that's Heartwood right there.
Would you like to walk us through the process a little bit from the time you cut down those birch trees and then square them off?
Yeah, I cut him down with the Maskell boy.
Yep.
The two Maskell boys from, actually they live in Albany, I think, just north of the Craftsbury line.
They've got a nice wood.
Calvin's sons. Calvin was one of the toughest loggers in all Northeast Cape. I haven't seen him in a while. He tried to steal one of my saws once while I was standing above it. And he didn't come up the ladder because he knew I had the high ground. And remember, what was it? Philip of Macedonia's son? What the hell was his name? Anyway, always take the high ground. You know, these guys coming up a ladder don't have a chance of getting at you. That is the separation line between the heartwood and the good wood, or the sapwood, no matter what they do. But the thing about this yellow birch is you hit it on the tangential side, where ash you hit it on the grain side.
And ash is a harder wood, so it makes a better bat?
No, ash is a softer wood.
Oh.
Right. Yellow birch, I think, is the best.
And how about maple?
It's right here. Yeah, that's a maple.
Which one do you have made up in Gatineau?
The, which one?
The one that comes from Gatineau?
Oh, Gatineau?
Yeah. Up by Hull?
Oh, yeah. No, I played in Gatineau. I played in the Quebec Senior League up there. See, maple is a little harder. This is a really fast-growing maple. This is a Southside maple. You can see by the growth rate. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years right there in an inch. You know, and North growing maple is, no, that's probably Southside too. That's a little closer. That's faster. That's a soft one. And then when I get to, that's Louisville Slugger. That is a Southside bat too. That's a lot of really good growing head. I don't know who that belongs to. I can't get that secret. This
Louisville
is
Slugger.
a training bat. That's an accelerator. It's really, feel how heavy that is on the end. See that? It's for kids to swing and learn. It's a real heavy bat.
Question, aluminum bat versus wood bat. You were saying at one point that the aluminum bat is ruining the swing of children?
See, aluminum bats last longer, but they're expensive to make. And the problem is they're a lot lighter than wood. And eventually you have to hit with wood. So why would you want to learn with something that is less heavy? And it's a detriment to their development. So I believe they should all go back to wood. It's a recyclable product. It is carbon neutral, and you don't have to have 400 Coors Light cans to make aluminum bat.
Although it would be fun getting there, right?
Exactly. I just like that. Craig Nettles.
Oh my goodness.
That's Craig Nettles, the third baseman that dropped me on my shoulder and gave me my rotator cuff tear, and then forced me to be a junk baller for the rest of my life. But what he did, he gave me persistence, which is the #1 thing you want in life. You want to be persistent and pragmatic. If you do those two things, you can live a really long and fruitful life. But you have to be persistent. Calvin Coolidge said it. Nothing goes over persistence. I didn't vote for Calvin Coolidge. But he has a really nice hotel in White River Junction. If you're ever down there, go see David Briggs. David Briggs is 13 days older than me, and he has really good rooms. And there's a lot of eccentric people down there other than I. And there's a great Turkish restaurant on the corner that has the best meals in all of Vermont. Go to the Calvin Coolidge Hotel in White River Junction. This is a paid political announcement by the Republican Party, of which I am not.
No. And did you hear what happened to Bernie's office last night?
Yeah, someone pissed lighter fluid on it and lit it on fire.
Yeah.
Well, why would you turn on all the sprinklers to ruin all the paper?
Yeah.
You know, Bernie's not that bright, but I don't think he was there. If someone lit my door on fire, that happens a lot, actually. We call Molotov cocktails. Dr. Dosty and all, I've had the same dentist for 47 years.
Is he in Westmount?
Montreal.
Is he in Westmount?
Dr. Dosty is the oral surgeon, but, you know, Stan Reish is my go-to guy. He put my teeth in the last time when I had them knocked out, and my father-in-law was stitching up my lip. I got a hair lip right here when I broke my mouth, and so I get all my dental work and all my facial reconstruction in Montreal because it's 30% off.
That's right. Canadian
Worth it about
dollar.
that exchange rate, right?
Oh, yeah.
My dentist is
Your
in Quebec.
dollar, it goes much further up there. It doesn't go as fast as your fast fall, but Tabarnak, it's a great place. They love me up in Quebec because they don't speak English and either does he.
Let's talk about your time in the Longueuil Club when you started with the old timers.
Longueuil, Senator.
Oh oui, c'est le Longueuil. C'est Longueuil.
Yeah, I was Longueuil. I crossed the river, the Fleuve Saint Laurent. I go from Montreal across to Longueuil.
To la rive sud.
I played 5 years, play ball with all the guys, and you know, I'm about as good as they get, hey? That sounds like one of them.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, you did.
vous n'êtes pas mal, monsieur, vous êtes presque nous.
Oh, yeah. Longueuil Senators. I got released from the Montreal Expos, and 2 days later, I'm a Longueuil Senator.
You were released from them for defending somebody.
You can look it up. I was at the Taverne 77 on Hochelaga and LaSalle. I was out there with Terry Mosher, Aislinn, and we come back and go Jim Fanning. He take my uniform away and don't give it back. And now the rest is history.
Number 37 lives.
I can't wait till they see that up there.
Yeah,
That's a good story.
it's a good story.
So, when my grandmother was living down in Billerica and Reading, Mass, she used to always come and drink with you guys after every single game when you were on the Red Sox. And back
Where? At the
that Irish pub
Elliott
was-
Lounge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God.
My grandmother, she's still the same height she was, but she's about this tall.
Well, we hardly ever grow.
Slightly.
How old is she at my age, right?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yes, sir.
She would even
I hope it wasn't Daisy Buchanan's. That was Derek
No.
Sanderson's part. It was the Elliott.
Derek Sanderson, number
Jean
16?
Vigeant was her name.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she if you guys ran into the Yankees at a local pub or something, and there ended up being a brawl, she was jumping in on your guys' side.
Well, yeah, that would have probably been in Sanderson's part.
Well, Derek Sanderson, number 16,
Remember Sanderson.
and he was the policeman. He was the John Ferguson of your leagues over there in Boston. And I've got to say, he was rough.
John Ferguson was a tough SOB.
Number 22, I painted his portrait.
No way!
Yes. Let me ask.
Yeah, Jimmy Mann. Jimmy Mann played. He was a pugilist from Trois-Rivières.
Oh, pas mal.
Yeah, and I remember John Ferguson. Jimmy Mann got into a fight, and the guy he beat up, he got up, and John Ferguson said he was very upset that the guy got up.
Yeah.
That was Ferguson. He was.
But, you know,
that was Winnipeg's yes.
But Ferguson would cause a fight, he'd get a penalty, he'd get out of the penalty box, and he'd score a goal right away. You just had to wind him up a little bit.
It just wound him up. I'll tell you, there's nothing like a little adrenaline.
That's right.
Oh yeah, you'll hit that ball harder.
I can't believe we're talking about John Ferguson.
Are we gonna talk
And
about
you
hockey?
painted his portrait?
Yes, I did.
Oh, you love that.
I did.
You are so much like my second wife.
Divorced. I'm divorced.
Huh?
Like a second wife.
So Grandma would always be wearing this exact ball cap when she'd go to the bars with you guys, and she was hoping, because she's not able to get up and move quite as well today, that I might be able to get a signature from her.
That's pretty beautiful.
I appreciate that. Just got done. She's in assisted living now, but I used to take care of her for a while.
Oh,
yeah.
Mr. Lee, could you make a visit?
Sure. I can
Oh,
be
she
there.
would love that.
That would be
She
great.
would love that. Thank you.
Connections.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably the greatest show I ever saw. James Burke, Connections, if you ever get a chance to see it. It ties everything together in your brain. It's a chemical thing that goes, the synapses
Yes,
and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
The guy who invented plastic invented it by accident. It was a mistake. He tried to throw it down the drain, it clogged the drain. And then that became plastic.
Now it's
Go
clogging the ocean, so thank you.
One guy screws up and next thing you know, he's got a product,
Not too bad, you.
plastics.
Wow.
You got time?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Ladies and guess what? We have a
So
special
don't feel the camera part.
co-host now. I should just retire.
Is that right?
We have
Cool.
Dr. Woody Starr. Most of you know this gentleman, a great veterinarian, and he's my neighbor, but he's also
Get out
a
of the
good
way.
friend of this Savannah Banana.
He is the godfather
There you go.
to Anna Lee. And Anna Lee was named after a song called The Wait
I love that song.
because I met Anna's mother with Levon Helm of the band.
Oh my God.
Up at the Maples Inn in Montreal.
The Mapes.
The Maples. Remember the old Maples?
The Mapes. I was never allowed to go there.
You weren't allowed to go
No,
there?
but my brother went.
See, that's why you're okay.
I'll be in touch.
Is that a small world? Now you know the story between
You
Derwin,
mentioned Rico
Lorraine,
about the last.
Anna Lee, and Bill Lee.
Look at this. I ate breakfast with him when I was
He's the
12.
godfather of my daughter who just had a baby boy in March, February.
Fantastic. Well, you know, a lot of good friendships were made at the Mapes, and I'm so glad yours were. So, Mr. Starr, Dr. Starr, please just interview your friend. Have a good conversation. It'll be for posterity.
No, he's a 1,000-point scorer. He's Cornell University educated, and he's the greatest vet in the Northeast Kingdom. Still. And I was in his office for 2 days during the blizzard, where my dog got submitted to some of the greatest torture I've ever seen. Poor dog. Oh, my wife stepped on the dog's butt yesterday, and he yelped like crazy at home.
Where's Deanna?
The dog is all right.
Yeah. You didn't come yesterday though, did you?
No, not yesterday.
The day before?
Oh, the day of the storm, I was there. I drove.
How'd you get out of your house?
I could get out, but I couldn't get back up. If you can get a lawnmower card,
Yeah, nobody watches it.
A lawnmower card?
I don't watch it.
Lawnmower.
No, it goes on
about
YouTube,
3 years
so
earlier than that,
I meant
it's
like your
me
house.
pitching
I
his
have no idea
motion,
to do it.
same park,
But
in
I have
spring
to wait
training.
this long.
You get engaged.
Really?
Nice. It's a great
He's
picture.
busy
We
man.
get both cars up there. You'll get Lombard and Lee, both pitching in the same exact delivery. The same photographer took it. That's cool.
But
Yeah. Lombard, look for, they're probably 78. Lonnie was probably 70 or 69. Oh, you got a wine?
I got a wine here. I got a hand.
It hasn't been drank?
It has not. No.
Where did you find that?
I don't
Red
know.
wine?
That's a, that's.
Oh my
It's a
goodness!
classic, you know, with the old tobacco.
He did the wine.
Let me get a good shot of that. Or a shot of wine. Oh, you're the,
Anyway, this is the last bottle
That one broke.
of 800 cases of Spaceman wine that hasn't been drank.
you had a heck of a party.
I got another one at the house.
This is my front lawn. That's the earth coming out of my hand right there. This was done by a watercolor artist that does Camus wine and Sierra Nevada beer. You can look it up. And that's the back there with the story of how I made wine. Let me read it to you.
Okay.
Oh, no, that's it.
Well, I'm gonna need glasses. I can't-
Want mine? Wait.
You got them? This is a good story. You'll like this.
I don't have my glasses, but does anybody know how to read here?
Yeah, no, I got it.
I graduated.
I remember when,
Anybody got any reading glasses?
I remember when we went to SD Ireland Field playing baseball. You and I were playing against each other.
Yeah.
1-0 game. We were walking the field from your car. You had the Buick. You had a daughter. You told me that you were starting a wine business.
Yes.
And we were talking about that, and then on the way through, you're like, how many balls you got in your bag? I said, I don't know. He goes, bring them all out, I'm gonna sign them all. So I got them
This
signed
is-
and handed out.
This is a 2010, I think.
Yeah.
I made a
Oh, yeah,
7
read
and a 10. Yeah, read that if you can. Story.
All right, what's that, Shanghai had it?
Shanghai.
Shanghai.
By the game of baseball.
For 50 years on the East Coast by the game of baseball, Bill Spaceman Lee, 6th generation, California and, how do you say,
Port cider.
Port Cider's son has returned to his roots by making a monstrous red wine like that which has run through his ancestors' veins and lines since the 1800s. A portion of the proceeds from the sale of this wine will be donated to the Red Sox Foundation to support their Red Sox scholars and inner-city youth baseball programs by serving at-risk children and teens. For more information, please visit www.redsoxfoundation.org. This wine will knock your socks off.
Yeah.
Spaceman Lee, left-hander, and then I can't.
Jeff Whitman.
Jeff Whitman,
co-conspirator.
Wyman, and right-hander. Bottled and cellared by Spaceman Wines, Napa, California.
Good
Wow.
Just gave a great ad.
one. Thank you, Mr. Clooney.
You're welcome.
And I have 800 cases that just got out of probation.
Prohibition. Prohibition.
Prohibition and probation. It was shanghaied by the old owner who had a dispute with Jeff Whitman, but I'm still making wine, and all I have to do is keep it high enough in my kitchen so it doesn't get drank fast.
What's the alcohol content?
This is 14.2,
Wow.
but my Spaceman, the one that's different, that has a different label, 2013, is 17% alcohol by volume. It's a monster. And I still have 80 cases of that
That's
somewhere in
definitely not date night
Massachusetts.
Oh, yes, it is, depending on who
But
you
I
date.
keep it away from my...
Oh, that is a good point.
Anyway, where did you get that?
I've had it for a while. I say I got another one at the house.
No kidding.
What's your name?
My name's Christian.
Christian what?
Here you go.
Pearson.
Christian Pearson has, well, don't go to his house. He's got it protected and it's monitored by a vicious dog. And anybody else who can savor a wine like that, that's fantastic.
I can't even. I quit drinking like 3 years ago, so yeah, I can't even.
How did you quit drinking?
I know. Well, the doctor suggested, but yeah.
How old are you?
46.
My goodness, you're starting a new life.
Yeah.
Well, bless your heart. Good for you.
But yeah, and my buddy, Mike, he's the sports editor around Olmsted. He's the Newport, for the Newport Daily. He has a Billy bat.
Really?
So now I want a Billy bat.
Well, I hope you
don't
get
know if
one.
They're selling.
You want to buy one?
I would. Yeah.
You want to unfinished $40.
40. That sounds good to me. I don't know what he got. But
This is a great bat.
yeah.
I'm gonna put where you gonna hit with it or not?
No, that's gonna go right. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, this was an unfinished one that got spit out by my lathe, but I looked at it and I said, this is a good hitting bat. Because it had that flaw right there.
Yeah.
They go for like 120, 140 finished and stuff. These are just as good.
It's the one thing I don't have any autographed bats. I got a bunch of stuff.
Well, it's different.
Yeah, that's what I had my heart set on.
Well, that was
And
a
to see that,
surprise.
Yeah.
To see that again,
I know, yeah.
But that is a great label. That woman did a great
Yeah, I
job.
love it.
Yeah,
Old
that
throwback
looks nice. I
tobacco.
like that.
It's definitely a
I mean,
water.
it should have been me in the background then, but
Was you catching me?
there we go.
I remember you once were given an opportunity to leave baseball and you said, what would I rather do? Go home and dig leach fields by hand or do this? I'd rather play ball.
Yeah.
Door number 2.
Door number 2.
Well, that's where I first saw him. That's what made him famous. Seeing the Ken Burns thing. And who's this guy? And you start looking him up.
Yeah, I love that. See, the reason why I wore that hat is before the wall came down in Germany, I was in the Soviet Union and I pitched 2 complete game shutouts against the Russian national team. I beat them on a Thursday in 7th and I beat them on Saturday in 9 innings. And we got drunk that night and I got arrested 3 times. And within 2 months, the wall came down. And Ronald Reagan said, "Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall."
November
Remember that?
10th.
Yeah, sure.
And I'm going, I tortured.
Yeah, and then he went into Germany.
And we had and the funny thing, we had a guy named Twilliger who played in the Atlanta organization, and he got diarrhea and he had to shit up against the Kremlin wall at about 4 in the morning. So the other day when they were showing the parade, I go, I remember that tree. Wasn't that tall?
Well, yeah, and then after you had the president of the United States going to Germany and telling everybody he's a donut.
Yeah, that's funny.
Did you bring any Cubans with you? I mean, we got this cigar shop. I mean,
Yeah, I got Cuban cigars right here.
Vaughn was telling me, he's like, oh, I'm not gonna with that, right?
You bought all
Oh
those
my
bags.
God.
You get a cigar to go home with.
Wow.
You smoke?
Well, I'll still smoke.
Yeah,
I have
keep
a few
it-
vices.
Yeah,
Some of the
keep it moist.
some of the
and,
other good stuff. Are you sure?
That's a Cuban. You take it.
I never had one.
You get an award.
You shouldn't use your
spent more
good
money.
stuff. You
get a
should
free
put that on your
Cuban.
pancakes.
Yeah, I remember that line too.
Yeah, save that.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, that was made in Havana. Last time I was there. I'm trying to keep them moist.
You fly up from Montreal, right? So it's legal? It was legal to fly from the U.S. to Cuba a very short time ago, and JetBlue was the first airline that did it.
Well, we always went through Montreal.
Yeah, I was going to say, now you have to
Yeah.
go through Canada again, I believe.
Oh, can I do it?
What a
And you
bummer.
could bring all the Cuban
All right.
cigars you wanted.
Would you
at
mind
the
taking-
dance.
I know.
Yeah.
It made me wish I could smoke, you know?
You know, Canadians are the best.
Thank you.
They're the best smugglers, too.
Thank you.
Can I do one quick picture with him?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
Careful with that.
Oh, yeah.
And congratulations for the other part of your life.
Yeah, well, we'll see, you know.
Well, if you have a grandson, you can have them crack it.
I got a whole closet full of stuff. They're all gonna get them.
That's good.
Thank you again, Mr. Lee.
Thank you. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Wow.
Isn't that great? Son gave me that book. It meant an awful lot to me because it represents the love he has for his father.
It's amazing. That's a picture of him on the beach. That could be me on Pacific Palisades out in California, sitting in my grandfather's lap.
Yeah.
Like that. That's awesome.
That's Billy Crystal and his
But he's a
dad.
Coney Island kid. You know, you can always tell Billy, you can always tell a Yankee fan, you just can't tell him much. Is that a Tyrannosaurus Rex?
No.
A T-Rex? What is it?
Go and show it.
Oh, he looks like a T-Rex.
Well, yeah, because they couldn't have time to do that.
Yeah, they all have short arms like this. You know why? They're Republicans, they can't get to their pockets. That's funny.
Why would you like to deal with dinosaurs? What's your big thrill about them?
I just like them.
I do too. Did you see Jurassic Park?
Oh, yeah.
I've seen it a million times. Isn't it wonderful?
Yeah.
Well, so are you.
It's gotta be the T-Rex, of course.
Of course.
Have you seen the original Jurassic Park, #1?
Yeah.
Yeah, all of them. They're all good.
Yeah. Speaking of dinosaurs.
Huh? What caused the extinction of the dinosaur?
I don't know.
You don't know? A giant meteor crashed 93 million miles, came down and boom, hit right on the
Well,
Yucatan
actually, some people
Peninsula.
think it could have been some people also think it could have been a volcano that took away the plants, which means the plant eaters would go goodbye, and then the meat eaters would have to eat their own kind.
Oh, and the meteor hit at a 45-degree angle and just kicked our butt on Earth.
Great
They
darkness
had
for many
global
years.
winter for 12 years.
Yep.
12 years. The only thing that survived was a little teeny mouse. Little teeny mouse, a shrew that lived under the snow. And it was the only mammal that lived. And he grew and grew and grew, and next thing you know, he started walking upright.
Anyway.
Well, some people think that actually the T-Rex survived the Ice Age because some people think actually T-Rex had feathers.
Yep.
That's a
Hey,
good thing to know.
there's nothing better than science and geography and geology. And Earth first is what I always say.
Right outside, yeah.
Mitochondria second and humans fourth or fifth.
Fast food stuff.
We'll catch you a little bit later.
Haven't find the dinosaurs.
I'll come by.
All right.
Yeah, I
I'll come by.
I put 5 dinosaurs in a lot of them.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, my dad was
It was a pleasure seeing you.
Bye, see ya.
What time?
Bye, Woody.
Getting that autograph for
Yeah.
Do you play baseball?
Yeah, well, one day. But eventually, when I think I was 5.
Really? Well, William, I'm hoping. T-ball.
Yeah.
William, I couldn't hit the broadside of a barn with a shovel. So
You did pretty good, didn't you? Look at that. What do you say?
Thank you.
You're welcome. I love a Red Sox
that's
fan
cool.
from Nassau.
Yeah. You
You're gonna be an astronaut.
should have seen his room out in Arizona. It was all Red Sox, painted red and blue.
Good.
Had the green monster up there.
Wait, what green monster?
The wall
The
at
wall.
Fenway.
At Fenway, the big green
37
monster.
feet.
Remember?
Look at my number.
You're at the border, eh?
Yeah.
I go through there on my bicycle.
Well, I
all
took
the time
37
in
because
summer.
that's how high the wall is.
I work in between.
Oh, in the car?
I don't work the ports.
Oh,
I'm the green uniform. We work everything in between.
okay. Well, I'm legal now.
That's good.
Yeah.
So if you run into me, you've messed up.
Okay. I remember that.
If you run into him, you've been deer hunting on the line.
Wait.
That
here-
too.
Here's my flashlight. You're deer hunting.
Hey, there was a guy from Irisburg. His name is Royer. He's the best. What the heck was his first name? So he's up there on the bridge where the line is, up in North Troy, and he's up there hunting in the field, and they got a mechanical deer out there at 11 o'clock. So he ends up shooting the mechanical deer. The Canadian guards, the U.S. stadies, the highway patrol, and they all come down on it. They go, "Chubby, we finally caught you fair and square." He goes, "Yeah, Sheriff, you did." He says, "But it's 11 o'clock. How come your son's out here with you? He's only 8 years old." He says, "What do you mean?" He says, "Grandpa was a deer jacker. I'm a deer jacker. He's going to be a deer jacker too."
Now help me put this thing on my car.
Huh?
Would you mind taking a picture with us?
No, not at all.
I'm gonna go on the other side.
I was saying, get that yank crap on the other side.
Oh, I know.
I gotta make sure the dinosaur gets in the picture.
So convinced that was intentional.
You're only as good as your competition.
That's
Would
right.
you like to be in that one?
And I can fall against you many times.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Sean.
I knew that.
Bill, Nick's a personal friend, and so is Jeremy.
The first ball player ever to be convicted.
Sprinkle marijuana on his
$200 fine. No, $250, and I gave $251. You want to know the rest of the story?
Go ahead.
I sent the money to St. Mary's, Alaska, a mission up on the Yukon River. The money went to the mission. The guy who controlled the mission was the priest. The priest was arrested for
Yeah, mine luckily didn't.
diddling all the
Oh,
Indians.
thanks a lot.
I was facilitating. It's just, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. I sent all that money up there. The guy ends up dying in Washington State, and he's buried in Spokane, where my son and grandson are. That same bridge. It was on the show Reveal on NPR. I'm driving down the highway and I'm going, "You gotta be shit." Doc Ellis's lips are moving, he's lying.
And you said if he said he was doing acid and doing a whole thing,
You don't-
he would be slow motion and he'd be throwing the ball and they'd be going after it and saying, "Isn't it beautiful?"
Exactly.
That's what you said.
I said,
No, I just need
Doc Ellis, when his lips are moving, he's lying. Read Donald Hall, Doc Ellis in the Kingdom of Baseball. It's a great epic poem. He was the poet laureate of the United States, Donald Hall. His Kenyon was his wife. She preceded him. She died first. She was a great poet too. Always read poetry. It never lies.
You said that even though you're writing books, you'd like to do more poetry.
I do.
Do you already do that? Because I think when you're a poet, you make it all day long, no matter what you're doing.
Everything's a poet. I wrote a whole poem about my dog, always shit south of the border. In other words, the border of my house. She always seems to cross the line and go to the neighbor's house and take it.
How did you train her to do that, I'm sure?
I don't know. It's all because they have a dog, so she goes down and it's a territorial thing.
Yeah.
So dogs tend to go where other dogs go.
Really? Well,
Like McGuire, he's in here too.
all right.
He and I are both USC boys, right here.
All right, a little bit more about our show. It's been a wild show.
I hope it gets to Montreal at Belle Provence, you know, because
It's going to.
I just love it. I'm the only guy to smoke with all the Hells Angels of Quebec crossing the ferry at Sorel. I went to Trois-Rivières, I hit 4 home runs, stoned out of my gourd. You know, not the acid. I can play on pot, but not the acid.
That's right. It's like, and what color is the field today? Well, it's the purple monster, I guess, if you're playing on acid.
Yeah, well, I played in Mount Laurier, and I did a little psilocybin. I play right field, and not too well. But we won the championship, and we had to go to up on the Bas Saint Laurent, North Forestville. And I remember we got beat 2-1. They would not pitch to me because they go, we know you can hit the ball, Bill, and we are gonna walk you, and we lost. And the Quebec Senior League quit that year, and I had to go to Nouveau-Brunswick, play for the M&M's, Moncton Mets.
That's right. And they speak French too.
Oh, they 50%. They have more women in that university. It's all women, and I'll tell you, the day the Windsor Chiefs left, there were 14 girls hanging on the fence.
Wow.
I'll tell you, those Windsor Chiefs were good looking.
Well, that's good to know.
Oh God, they were great.
Now I completely forgot what I was going to ask you, and I'm sure it was extremely deep.
It was about Moncton.
No,
Well,
but I'm
nice to meet you,
glad
buddy.
He'll come back.
you did Canada.
Sir, it was a pleasure. Take good care of yourself.
That's all right. Hey, I remember, you know the border crossing on the other side of Lake Mempamagog? Now I used to cross there.
Was it the Troy
Over
one?
the far end of the lake road.
At the far end of the lake road.
Yep.
Back
it's
30
shut
years
down
ago.
now.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
done. That's
It's done. I used to cross in my Volkswagen camper with 2
Yeah.
girls, and we were going up to Montreal, and it said, report to Mansonville.
Your wife
I
might
go,
be listening.
I go, I ain't going to Mansonville, it's out of the way.
That's right. Well, they say
Well, there's still a bunch of people that cross there.
Oh, do they?
Not the right way.
Not the right way.
Have your dad take you down to Main Street to find the dinosaurs in the pictures in the
Okay.
Newberry store.
Okay.
We'll go to the Newberry store.
Yeah, make sure he gets you an ice cream
Thank
cone
you.
at Tim and Doug's too.
Nice to meet you, buddy.
Thank you.
William?
Look at that.
Look at that, you might recognize that.
That is a David Ortiz.
Yeah, you made that bat custom
I
made
made
for.
that bat a long time
So
ago.
the gentleman that owns that mat, he dropped it off, he couldn't be here today. But as you see, it's BSA certified.
Yeah,
so
it is.
He would like you to sign,
Yeah, I made it.
and this is what he would prefer. He said underneath the pro maple, which right
Yeah,
here.
right there is where I
He
was
wants you
going.
to sign Bill Lee, and then Spaceman like that.
Okay,
Wanted to
Ooh.
I will.
Black
You put
on
it,
black.
He wanted the same color as that.
the silver.
Yeah.
We got silver somewhere.
Yeah.
It's coming out of the case right now.
So this
That's a
is
beautiful bat.
He's
Where did he get that?
he got it at a what do you call it, fundraiser auction,
Yeah.
and he bought it there. So he said, "Well, how cool would that be to have that signed by Bill?" And I said, "That'd be awesome."
That's the Axis Bat Company. That's
Yeah,
me.
That's Bill.
That maple billet could have come from
Your
up
land.
here, and no, it came from Stoner Ridge
Stoner Ridge.
in Craftsbury.
An appropriate
Is that a-
name. An appropriate name.
That's exactly. I wake up in the morning and I look right at Stoner Ridge,
Yeah.
and I can tell if it's snowing or not.
Is
If
that-
I
is that
can't,
every day?
if I can't see Stoner Ridge, then I know it's inclement.
You say, oh yes, I am home now.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yes.
This is as emotional as watching somebody sign a marriage certificate after their nuptials.
Wait till he's done signing before you say
Why does that sound terrible? Why does that sound terrible?
It wasn't meant to sound terrible. It meant to.
That's perfect.
Thank you, Bill. I'm recording it for Reg there, so you can see it.
Well, that's one of a kind, because I'm the only one that signed next to him.
That's right. That's awesome.
Very nice. Now, what I was going to ask and compliment you upon is your integrity and the fact that you have a spine and you stand up for other people. And with all the other organizations that you sponsor, you know, it's not just the Red Sox Foundation. You quietly and humbly are the undercurrent for an awful lot of good things.
Thank you. The reason I have a good spine is a Gus Hoffling and what was the guy's name? Dynamic Tension. He was a, you know who I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
and
that guy.
He pulled boats.
He used to pull boats and
Jack
LaLanne.
It starts with L. Jack LaLanne, yeah.
He was one of them and stuff. The reason is I do yoga. It's not the air you breathe in that's important. It's the air you breathe out. You have to be able to slow down your pulse rate, relax, and do stretching. Everybody knows the sound of 2 hands clapping. I know the sound of 1 hand clapping.
Yeah, but to get back to the question, what you breathe out is how you live your life. And when you lose a job over defending someone who you think is in the right, that's integrity and that's guts. And
Rodney Scott, Cool Breeze, The Bar, Hochelaga and LaSalle, you know, and that was Terry Mosher and I, Aislinn, and we're...
Montreal Star.
Yeah, he's writing a book, and I'm going to be up there in April. We're selling the book, Baseball Stories and Caricatures of he and I, and it's going to be a big fundraiser for Perry Giamatis and that young girl, Kat. They named the wing after her at the old hospital where I used to go every time I got hurt. And now it's a children's hospital over there off of Jean Talon and Decarie and Sherbrooke, actually, de Maisonneuve. I spent and shed a lot of blood on that intersection.
So that's called giving back. That's called giving back.
That's it. It's all because of that. The key in life is there are no luggage racks on Hershes.
Can't bring it with you.
And you know what?
Hey, Bill, he wants to give you something here.
Yeah.
This is my grandmother's address if you do get the chance.
Oh, I'll get there.
Oh, she lost her husband last week.
Bill, can I ask you
Forget
a
about
couple
it.
favors?
Anyway.
This one's important.
I'm gonna just...
Sure.
I'm a diabetic myself, so but every year, Mike knows as well, every year the Eagles Club, the president of the Eagles Club here in Newport, and we do it's called the Bridge to the Cure for Diabetes Research. And we put on a golf tournament, so last year we started as our first one. We're about to do it here in a month. And we, after all expenses and everything, we donate $12,000 to the research center through the Eagles fraternity. So
you have type 2 or 1?
Type 2.
Gotcha.
So I ended up in the hospital for 6 days before I learned I was diabetic. My sugar was 990 at the time.
Wow.
Was it on sale?
Yeah, it was on sale.
$9.99 for you.
All the
You're
sugar
very
you can
fair.
handle at that.
But yeah, so I mean, I was real big too and everything. But so anyways, I got through that, and I don't take insulin, anything, metformin, nothing.
Really?
Controlled by diet, exercise. Even though I got a belly, I still do those things. And then you, as you know, you and I played ball together many times. But I'd like to see if you wouldn't mind donating that, sign that, so we can wrap that off, and then sign these 2 things. Bill is actually signing the bat for us right now for fraternity Order of Eagles 4329 in Newport for our annual golf tournament to raise money for diabetes. It's called the Bridge to the Cure for Diabetes, and we run it last year. After all expenses, we donated $12,000 to the project, which was the largest donation ever given to the foundation by an Eagles area, so it was awesome. So Bill's going to donate a signed baseball bat so we can use it as a raffle for that, and he's going to sign a little mini helmet and a baseball, help us raise more money for the cure. As a diabetic myself, I know that the money goes to the right areas. Eagles is actually one of the biggest contributors in the research of diabetes. We actually helped build a $50 million facility in Ohio, and we have over 110 researchers that work daily to find a cure for diabetes. So this is very important. It's not just for everybody here, but for everybody that suffers from that disease. So thank you, Bill. We really appreciate this.
My pleasure. Get rid of white sugar. It's glycogen It's glycogen. What you do is you fructose, natural sweeteners, maple syrup, things like that. Stay the things that are easily digestible. It puts too much problems on the Isles of Langerhans, which is in your pancreas. I always thought they were near the Philippines. They're inside your body. And remember, Ferdinand Magellan was not the first man to circumnavigate the planet. He died in the Philippines. It was his first mate.
Give credit where credit's due.
Thanks, Bill.
Credit where credit's due. They always say,
And
you know, I was the Ferdinand Magellan of answering questions. Because I would
Got a lot of
circumnavigate and go around and never answer the question.
Well, speaking of questions, I have a couple for you.
Yeah.
Like Olmsted, Newport Daily, met you a couple of times. I went around
Yes.
with you when it was one of my first jobs with the paper, going around with your bat making operation. I picked you up at your house, and I had my father-in-law's big F-350 truck, and we ended up cruising around. You mentioned Perry
Giannis.
Does he go by Perry G?
Perry G, yes.
Is he hosting Expos
Yeah, he's a
Fest?
Greek kid, and he runs a really good charity, and he gives all this stuff to this terrible cancer that killed his niece, and all the expos are involved.
So that's Expos Fest, which
It's
is
an
being
expo
held
thing.
this month, later this month, like the 20-something.
That is the one where we're going to do it with Terry Mosher Aislinn.
Yes.
Where we're going to do the book, and it's going to be somewhere downtown Montreal. I don't know where yet.
Because I'm a member of Perry's Facebook. I miss the Montreal Expos group, so I'm keeping tabs on that stuff. And
Let me know.
I was looking at the lineup, and I think Pedro's coming.
Yeah.
And Terry Mosher's book, he's got two versions of it, a soft cover and a hardcover.
Oh, the hardcover is gorgeous. His caricatures that he did, and I used to help him with some of the words and things, because we hung out together and we used to party all the time. And I remember when we last saw each other, this is a great story. It was 6 in the morning, he turned right on Sherbrooke, or on, it was Mackay, or out of the Longest Yard, one of the bars down there. And he turned right and went to rehab, and I turned left and went to Vermont. And it seems to work out for both of us.
I actually, knowing that you were coming here, I grabbed Have Glove Will Travel last night.
Okay, yeah.
And I was, flipping through that, rereading it again. And the longest yard, I was thinking of the stories why you guys called it the longest yard, the races along the bar tops.
Oh my God, unbelievable.
That must have been such an unbelievable scene back then.
Back then, that was down in Boston. That was the old bar, the Inman's Men's Square bar, where the Rolling Stones used to play.
my favorite group.
Those were where those races took place in Boston, and not in Montreal. Montreal was totally different. Bobby White kind of ran everything up there, and Mosher and I, and it was just a way to stay up and keep partying and drinking.
Well, now, was Montreal where the guys would bring the hash and you would do the comparison shopping?
Yes, on Thursdays. Those were at the bars out on the West Island. It was Barry Balak, and he was one of the head guys. He's since passed on. He was one of my close friends and stuff.
Edgewater?
And Midnight, remember Midnight Express
Yes.
and stuff? Those were the guys that got caught over there in Pakistan and
Turkish
did
prison.
time and stuff. Yeah, those were all West Island boys. There was the Mouse, there was the Arm,
The head?
the Head. Yeah, they had all these nicknames about body parts. And I used to hang out with them all the time at the Maples, and all the
And the
bars.
Edgewater? Edgewater too?
Yes.
With the Caribbean music on St. John's Road?
Oh,
No,
God.
it wasn't St. John's Road.
Oh,
Lakeshore Drive.
Oh, gosh. Darn, Montreal was the greatest town.
Good place to
It
grow
was a
up.
great town. They had the shortest life expectancy. No kidding.
I grew up over in St. Albans, and it's an hour away for us, so we would, back in the 90s when we were in high school, we would just grab our hockey bags. And we got a couple games up in Montreal or Laval or someplace like that.
Yeah, they always Laval.
And we would go up, we'd hang out, we'd go to the bars, and then we'd fill our hockey bags full of beers and bring it right back across the border because nobody wants to go through a stinky hockey bag after 2 games up in Quebec, so.
Also Triple X is what I used to drink.
Yeah, there was a couple of those that would make their way back across the border right next to the CCM and Bauer gear sitting in my bag.
I was a Brador guy. I drank that heavy high-end Molson.
Brador.
6.7% alcohol. You take 4 of those and man, you were down for the count.
And yet, if you watched Senator David Molson walks through the Montreal Forum before, I used to go to their warm-ups and their games because my dad had season tickets, and Senator Molson was the most dignified gentleman you ever saw. You never knew that he created so much joy for so many people who couldn't walk straight.
I was a Molson export guy.
Were you?
I loved export. I loved it.
Molson
draft.
Golden?
It was because it was an ale, and lager seemed to mess me up, but ale seemed to be my drink of choice.
That happy zone where it felt right.
It felt right. You weren't full and everything, and it just was. It was somehow ale gets a different process than lager, you know, and that's why the Quebecers could drink that ale all day long and still perform and do well. I thought.
I think it was
Great product.
Not quite like Moosehead.
Huh?
So it's not quite like Moosehead.
Well, the Moosehead, the red label out of Quebec, out of New Brunswick, that's an ale too. The red
I haven't
one.
seen the red label, just the
It's just the
traditional.
green. The green is a lager that's
Yep.
down here, but the red is just like Molson X. It's just as good.
I wish we could
Yeah,
get
I was
that around here.
I'm an ale guy. That's why I'm at Sean Hill's up here. Hillstead Park. You know, he has that double IPA that is just spectacular. That's Society in Solitude 6. His beers are precious. He's a great brewer.
Would you like to tell us where he is?
Right here
Yeah,
in
but-
Greensboro.
Greensboro.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit off the main road, but I mean, it's well worth the trip. That beer is fantastic.
Yeah, I'll be there for the eclipse.
Oh, really?
I'll probably be there before and just get my beer and stuff and then go back to my hill, because I'm right on 14. I'm gonna have 3 minutes of total darkness on my road too.
Are you playing it all this summer?
I'm playing for the Burlington Cardinals in the senior league. It's not my last year. I never, I don't know to watch.
Neither do I.
You know, I don't know what time it is.
You gotta play one more
Yeah.
year after this year at least, as we're putting the team.
That's what if I hit a home run, I have to play one more year. You know, I haven't hit a home run recently, but I'm still playing. In other words, I don't make promises because I don't keep them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, like on January 1st, what are you giving up? I go, what do you got?
I'll give up something I don't use.
Yeah, I used to do that all the time too. I gave up television. I haven't watched TV in 2 years.
Oh, high five. I haven't had a TV for 20 years.
Good for you.
Yeah.
You're in great shape, I'll tell you.
Well, how else are you gonna watch him pitch with the bananas then?
Oh,
Well,
you can get that. Okay,
they won't
Savannah,
let me.
Savannah
After what
Bananas.
happened last year?
Yeah.
What happened, Savannah Bananas? I haven't heard.
What happened to them is they don't want me dying in front of all the children. It upsets them. But I keep getting back up.
It's
I'm
what-
going, not quite dead yet.
I mean, I might have given you a little bit of a scare, but I'm still here.
Did you have a little bit of an episode down
It's
there?
called an episode. What was his name? He was a great pitcher, left-hander for the Philadelphia Athletics. Rube Waddell. So Rube Waddell is a heavy drinker, and if he's pitching and all of a sudden a fire truck goes by, he'll run out and jump on the fire truck and have to get a reliever in for him. And the Philadelphia Athletics manager and stuff didn't like that. So one day he's in Detroit, and he's got to pitch the second game of a doubleheader. And they go out, and there's a boat out in Lake St. Clair, and there's no one in it, but there's a fishing pole. So they row out, and there he is, Rube Waddell, dead drunk out there. They got him out. He came back, pitched the ball game. He got fined the next day, and the commissioner fined him for a hotel episode. He got drunk in the hotel. He goes, "There's no hotel episode in Detroit." And I went, I love that kid after that. And that's amazing. Left-handers are different.
Yep, I'm left-handed myself.
We're different.
My daughter's left-handed.
Is that when Connie Mack was managing?
That was Cornelius McGillicuddy.
What a name.
Isn't that a great name?
Oh my God, I wish I could have another child so I could name him McGillicuddy,
Well, there was
McGillicuddy.
Cornelius McGillicuddy, and then there was Junior, and then there's the third. He's a senator from Florida, was. And then there's the fourth, and he was a congressman. And then there was Dennis. They stopped.
They stopped and they went with Dennis.
Dennis. I was in the stand. I'm playing in Connie Mack Ballpark in East Bridgewater, Massachusetts, doing an old timers game with the where you lob it underhand and stuff, the dead ball. And I hit a grand slam in Cornelius McGillicuddy's hometown. So I've got a lot of neat things that I've done, you know.
There's an understatement.
That's an understatement, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm still pitching. I mean, after my first heart attack, I go play with the Sacramento Solon Senior League in Arizona. And my first game out, I threw a complete game shutout in 1 hour and 32 minutes, struck out 9, 3 in the last inning, and we won the national championship for 75 and over. And I just turned 75.
Just got in under the wire.
Just got in under the wire, and then, but the Bananas won't let me play.
What was that experience? I mean, I was real skeptical when I heard about the Bananas, and I'm like, okay, what are they doing? It's like, is it Harlem Globetrotters with baseball? And then I watched, and I really liked it.
It's serious.
It was fun. It was entertaining. I mean, the guys are still great athletes. I mean, they're making plays. You got the whole dancing aspect going on.
And it's a 2-hour ball game, and so here's the key. It's only, I think it's $25 for the ticket and all you can eat.
Yeah.
And to get back to the time, our professional leagues are too long because of all the commercials that are going in. When you watch the Savannah Bananas, you can take your children and they won't pass out in a 4.5-hour game. They'll be involved. They'll really enjoy it.
2 hours.
That's the way to be condensed now, and to take the commercialism out of ball would be great. Yes, the guys are getting millions and millions and millions of dollars, but I know a lot of people who don't have that kind of time.
No. He's the P.T. Barnum of baseball.
Who?
Jesse Cole, the owner. He's the guy in the yellow suit that's leading, the Pied Piper of Hamlin and stuff. He's got the kids. He's got the banana toss. He's got the baby where they celebrate like Lion King and the baby up there every day. And I was just with them, and my grandson was a month old, and I was going to take my grandson, and my daughter wouldn't let me because he said he's not immune. We can't. He hasn't got the antibodies and stuff. He'll get sick. And I said, okay. I said, but eventually I'm going to get to be in this uniform holding my grandson up, at a Bananas game, probably at Fenway Park. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to pitch. I'm just going to hold my grandson up and pass it on, unless they let me start the game. I mean, I believe.
But if you start the game, you have to play the game.
Pitch, right?
I first pitched the last time I did it in Sacramento for a strike. It counted, and I walked off the field towards the sunset across the Sacramento River, where my great-great-grandfather had a dairy farm. So I am in my hometown, walking across the river, and I walked towards the Pacific Ocean, and I got a standing ovation from about 17,000 fans. That's as good as it gets. Yeah, you're not going to top that. But I keep topping it, but this dying 3 times has really upset them.
Kind of slows things.
But I got this thing. I got a Medtronics device. I've got a turtle in here that is a.
Well, let's take a good look at that.
That is a Medtronics defibrillator pacemaker, and I'm controlled by the web out of Minnesota. So a bunch of Twinkies are controlling my life, and I'm going, oh, Bill, you think we ought to turn him off today, eh?
That'd be bad.
Oh, I know. And I'm 11-1 against Minnesota.
Oh my God.
Isn't that the team I pitched the best against? Your odds aren't good. The further north I go, the better I pitch. I'm the #1 pitcher in the history of Alaska. You can't pitch any further north than that.
No, not really.
No, you can't.
When you went back to Arizona, did it bring back a memory where you tried out for San Francisco and you were told that you couldn't play, you'd been blackballed, why don't you go and try out as a coach at this junior team in Tucson?
That was, that's where the Giants, it was actually in Scottsdale, that's where the Giants, I tried out for the San Francisco Giants.
Yeah.
And then Tom Haller, the general manager, saw me in the clubhouse.
He wouldn't even give you a uniform.
You know, he looked at me and he goes, what the hell are you doing here? You know? And that's not a bad way to start with your general manager and stuff. I said I signed a personal service contract with a guy named Marty Stone that owns the AAA club, and I'm here to pitch for him, not you. And I said, but if I do well and I pitch well, I will sign with someone else. And he goes, don't count on it. And to Montreal, when I got released, I said, someone will pick me up. I had a 2.78 ERA, and I hit 348. Someone's going to pick me up. And he goes, don't count on it.
Is it Jim Fanning, the one with the white gloves, the boxing gloves?
That was the white boxing gloves. Amazing story. I'm going through Iowa on Route 20 outside of a small town, and there's Jim Fanning Field. And I went and took a leak.
I was going to say.
I took a leak next to a sycamore tree, and I said, too bad I didn't have to take a shit.
Silas.
Any
What color do you think's good on that?
Silver.
Silas.
Put it on the film.
These probably be
Good. How are you doing?
Yeah, I was up at the little kids version of the AAU tournament up at the junior high.
Sorry, what's this?
And I ran into a couple of friends and they're like, is there anything going on? I'm like, well, Bill Lee's down at Vaughn's store if you want to go down. Meet him, say hello, get an autograph,
Good.
learn something about the game of baseball.
You haven't met.
Softball player?
No.
I got a softball bat. I'll just give it to you.
Sure?
Yeah, for sure. There, if you ever play in, it's a one pitch tournament. They have it in, what the hell's the name of the town just south of here? Burke.
Yeah, we're trying to play in that tournament.
Yeah?
It's right behind the school, right?
Yeah, you gotta use wood bats. So if you ever go play, that's what you can use.
Thanks, Bill.
Yeah.
You get one swing.
And you know what? I was going to get books for my son and my grandson. My grandson's birthday. He's going to be 20 on Sunday. I can't believe it. And I'm going to get bats instead because.
I want to see if I got things.
No, I think I'll change it to bats because I've been looking at the bats and I think they're probably more keepers than the books for that generation.
You ever seen this book?
That phone call somebody asked you?
No. Oh, that's a local.
Wait, is this your latest book?
That's my latest book.
When did this thing come out?
Find out.
Look at the back cover.
I know, I was looking at it. Speaking of books, Bill.
Isn't that funny?
That's great.
I got some of your books. I was hoping you'd autograph that one for me.
Yeah.
I was the town librarian for 27 years, you know, and I could wait for these books to be donated at that time, but now you have to buy them.
Might write my name on there so people know that I'm not trying to sell it.
In Search of Heat Moon's Banana Slug.
Yeah.
And I think you get a kick out of this.
Where?
I wanted to.
Oh my
something in the
God.
shop. That's your rookie
That was
year.
a professional
And I got one behind it for the expo, so I was hoping if you
Where
signed
did you
those.
find this?
I found it on
and
eBay.
professional water skier.
No
by 20.
And I got the black and
Now I
white,
get a
because
new
that was your era.
What brought you up
So
here?
I figure if you sign that, I can hang it right up here.
Up here?
at the shop.
I will.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. You go down slow.
These are exercises if you want to hit home runs.
You gotta be able to go that low
And breathe.
and exhale. You can feel, I can feel my knee. I can make it pop. It's pop, all the adhesion. Hear that?
Yeah.
That's my knee.
Hey, I'm a therapist and I hear that and I'm thinking, oh, you should be in my clinic every day.
And the key is, it hurts, but you don't care.
That's right.
That they told me that I have to replace my right leg. I said, bullshit. I'll never have to replace my right leg because I'm replacing it every day. You know, I'm building out shit and stuff like that. And I do that. I put myself in a position where I'm really stretching. And it's Kundalini yoga. It's a form of a really hot yoga, and it gets you down like that. It's amazing. And then you get out like.
That was
You
close.
used to be able to go one line.
That one back.
Folly
I
Berger.
mean, you did pretty close to.
The Folly Berger. That was so fast, Bill. I mean, that was so fast. I barely saw your foot.
It's Billy Jack. When he comes up to the sheriff, he goes, "You know, Sheriff, I'm gonna kick you on the right side of the head with the left side of my foot, and there ain't nothing you can do about it." Bam! Puts him, hits him down on the ground. That's Billy Jack. Great move.
But I thought you might get a kick out of seeing an autograph from an old teammate.
Well, look at this.
That's awesome.
So we just took out the most final stage.
Who's the old teammate? I didn't hear that.
Rico Petroselli. Yeah, I had breakfast with him in 1982 when I was 12 years old.
His son lives in Moncton, Vermont.
Is that right?
Yeah, he's a Moncton kid.
Funny story. Well, thank you for that. I have a card. I was hoping I could get a signature on it.
Autographs are 30, and if you want something special, it's 10.
Just an autograph, and I was hoping for a picture.
Yeah, you can get a picture.
That'd be great.
I got one in my bag here.
I'd like his firstborn male child.
I would like that. Can I have a picture on my phone?
Yeah.
That's all. That's all, and I won't keep that. I know you got other
No.
pressing things. Thank you, Mr. Lee. Appreciate it.
And what's your name, sir?
My name's Henry.
Well, that narrows it down.
I'm from Henry Quarles.
Henry Quarles?
Yeah, I'm from Massachusetts.
There's a bunch of Massachusetts people coming up here.
Would you, Bob, would you mind?
There's a total eclipse Monday at my
Yeah,
house.
that'd be great.
There you go.
Let's take a look at Vaughn.
And you got me with, in 1981, I didn't have teeth, and I had my greatest year with the Expos.
That's good.
I led the team in ERA and batting
Well,
average.
we missed you we missed you through the Red Sox years.
Yeah.
Well,
I appreciate it.
it was great.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
good. I watched a lot of those games. Well, thank you.
You know, I played up here for 34 years for Newport, here at Gardner Park.
I know.
And Billy Gardner was my manager, but what was Gardner's first name from up here in Troy?
Roger?
No,
No.
to play for the Red Sox back in the 1890s and 2000s.
Awesome.
Anyway, the ballpark in Newport is named Gardner Park.
It is. I work at the wastewater treatment plant right there
Do ya?
with Eric Carrier.
That's funny, I was just there in your porta potty yesterday.
We got a tongue call
I
in
know.
that.
I saw that big old pipe coming out of there, all that dirty water, it
That's
said
too
not
funny.
potable.
That's awesome. Thank you for your time, bud. Appreciate it.
Yeah, there were a bunch of guys putting out little flags so people won't park down there.
That's right, yeah, and now it's all changed. Now it's gonna be over at the Prouty Beach in the high school.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a mud pit down there with all the snow.
Isn't it
Well, where
terrible?
Spaceman goes,
Crazy.
nothing grows.
Hey, you won't believe that. Remember when Fish had their concert up here in the rain?
I do.
There's gonna be more people towed out of field that are pulling off to watch the eclipse.
It's gonna be
And
crazy.
ain't gonna get back on the roof.
No, it's gonna be insane. It's gonna be insane.
I would rent a tow truck just for the.
And I've been on a lovely for 5 years old.
I'm extremely proud to be interviewing Bill Lee, Spaceman Lee. Not only because of his athletic acumen, but because he's a man of integrity. He's not afraid to say what he thinks. And a lot of us, because of the political situation we're in now, the atmosphere, a lot of people are being quiet because of fear. And that's fascism on the loose. And you're giving me strength, Bill.
Well, thank you. It's, we have nothing to fear but fear itself, which is
Yeah.
Roosevelt and stuff. And you're exactly right.
We have to speak out. And Bill lost his job twice for speaking out. And
3 times with the
And-
Giants.
we can't count them.
Can't count. And I'm still playing. That's all I have to tell kids. If you love something enough, baseball's a timeless game. There are no clocks. There are only innings. And you can play forever. And you can always remember your grandfather playing, your aunt playing. My grandmother broke her leg sliding into second when she was 47.
In 1946, I believe that was. Or was
No,
it?
that was Hazel. That
Oh,
was
that was Hazel.
Annabelle's mother. Hazel Ruth Stevenson Lee. Boy, was she a piece of work. 99 and still playing. You know, became a great artist late in life. Just a remarkable woman.
There is nothing you can't do, is what this family represents. No matter what age you are, no matter what gender you are. Don't let anybody stop you from doing what you want to do. And if you get shut down in one area, move on to another area. And if you get shut down in that area, come back to Vermont and play for Burlington. Right?
You're right. We're the first republic, 14th state. We can become on our own anytime we want. And you just, I'll tell you what Vonnegut said.
Oh, Kurt Vonnegut, for November 11th.
He said, kids, it's hot in the summer, it's cold in the winter. You got a chance to be 100 years old, but all you got to do is be nice.
God bless you, Mrs. Rosewater.
God bless you, Mr. Rosewater. Elliot Rosewater, richest man on the planet, and the only sane man in capitalism because he gave it all away.
Words to live by. I love you all. Thank you for watching, and I love you too.
Thank you, dear.
You're an amazing guy.
Well, not every day you get to do a show with your second wife.
See you next week, folks.